Number 16, Tennessee versus my University of South Carolina. Under the lights of Williams Brice Stadium, 7:30 on the SEC Network, prime time Saturday night.
Yeah.
Who's going to win? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't steal that from Rhett and Link's channel either. But there's a few things. There's a few things to talk about here. This over the past 10 years, I would say, has been a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Primarily in the last 5 years since Muschamp has taken over, these games have been ugly. There's only really, in my opinion, there's only really been one good game, and that was the last night game at Williams Brice when Josh Dobbs and I believe the 24th ranked Tennessee Volunteers came into Willie B and lost to first-year head coach Will Muschamp and freshman Jake Bentley, also freshman Rico Dowdle. That game was actually good. Like, there was a few, like, some sloppy plays, but, like, it played out like a good game. Mm-hmm. Then we've had some debacles along the way. And last year, we just got... If my shirt was toilet paper, they would use it to wipe their ass. It was that bad. It was embarrassing. I mean, it was flat out embarrassing. Yeah. First play of the game. Boom. Ryan Helinski, Shi Smith, 70-some yard touchdown. I'm like, oh, damn, Tennessee, y'all suck.
And then reality kicked in.
Then there I am, crying in the bathroom by myself.
Yeah, man. That next day,
it's an interesting series. And I made a video a few days ago just complaining about a couple of things. Still a lot of complaints for me, for my team. I know the biggest complaint from I had someone comment, a Tennessee fan, talking about they're not going to be that ready for the game because of COVID and everything else, and they haven't really got that many scrimmages. It doesn't matter.
You got talent.
They've still got probably more talent than we do, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah, they're packed.
But where we lack talent is the skill positions, primarily wide receiver and running back. The running back has been named for the game. Kevin Harris will be the starter. Deshaun Fenwick and Zaquandre White, look at I said it right that time, are going to be backing it up. And this probably, in all honesty, I hate to say this, especially in a game that I feel like we have to win. Mm-hmm. This is basically not for Colin Hill. I feel like they're confident in Colin Hill going forward to an extent. I feel like if they weren't, they wouldn't have started him. Yeah. But this is going to be a test for the running back.
Yeah,
it's pretty much whoever goes out here and does the best, you're going to be the starter, and that's pretty much going to be week to week, which is dumb. So there we are with that.
But hey, at least everybody gets experience.
Well,
I mean, it may be dumb.
It's meaningful snaps, but I mean, if we go through a shit season and end up with a new head coach, then these snaps are, you can say meaningful, but meaningless in my opinion, because you're starting over from scratch. But the wide receiver position, Jalen Brooks gets denied. Transfers from a Division II school. We don't care. You're going to South Carolina? No, you're going to wait. In a free year. A year where everyone gets a free year of eligibility. Kellen Mond can come back for his 49th season next year. But this kid, nah. You don't get to play.
I'm sorry,
Caden Mays, transfer offensive line to Tennessee from another East opponent in the SEC from Georgia. They say, yeah, sure. SEC hasn't cleared it, whatever. Jeremy Pruitt, I believe, said he's not making the game. But still, I mean...
But he got allowed by
everyone's being allowed. What does it matter?
Hey,
what does it matter?
They just don't like the guy, probably.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
But then, we had Ortre Smith opt out. Rendricus Davis opted out. There's two guys that have played. Ortre Smith, if it weren't for injury, I feel like would be our number 2 guy against Shi Smith. But now, and this could be a credit to how good he is, or it could just be that I believe it's that we're that low on receiver. But Luke Doty is backing up. I believe it was Shi Smith. He's backing up at receiver. So we got Shi Smith starting. I believe DeCarrion Joyner starting. Who was our other starter?
I don't remember.
Xavier Leggett. So then we have Jakari Caldwell, true freshman, as a backup. Rico Powers, true freshman, as a backup. I've heard nothing but good things about Rico Powers. And I've heard a lot of good things lately about Jakari Caldwell, especially 50-50 balls, which is something we need, especially in the red zone. He's like 6'5", 205 pounds. He's got length, so that's good. But we've got two guys that have transitioned from quarterback to wide receiver.
I mean, last year you guys...
I believe it was J.C. Horn who said that the Kerryon Joyner has some Debo-like qualities. Well, I better see that because Debo was legit.
Yeah, he was your number one wide receiver. He wasn't there, right?
I mean, he's a playmaker, dude. It didn't
matter
matter
went to the
when
Super
he
Bowl
touched the ball, he made something happen.
Yeah, he was really good for the 49ers right now.
Yeah, he's just injured. Injuries suck. Injury bug came and bit him. But we're just gonna take a quick look.
Yep.
The spread is 3.5 in favor of Tennessee, which with the way these games have played out, that's fair. And I would favor Tennessee too because in my opinion, they have the better team. Yes. They have a lot more experience than we do, even with players being out. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I feel like we have a little more experience, but not much of an experience edge there.
They struggled a lot last year, if I remember right.
Ours or theirs? Yeah, ours was abysmal.
Yeah,
there wasn't even an offense. I can't even
some
call
games
it an offense.
you showed up and
No
what
games.
Was that game? No.
We showed up in one game against Charleston Southern. That was worthless. Yeah. That wasn't even a football game. That was just practice.
That was just training practice.
So don't go bringing that garbage in here. But if we take a look at the overall record real quick, Tennessee leads by a landslide. 26 victories to our 10, 2 ties in between. But the last 10 games, South Carolina is 6-4. Okay. And Tennessee's 4-6, obviously. But something interesting I found is that I found this website that kind of points out South Carolina's wins and losses over the decades. In the 2010s, again, we were 6-4. Now at home, we were 4-1. That's pretty good, considering we're at home again Saturday.
Yes.
Now, there's only going to be 20,000 fans in the seats, along with the crowd noise, but whatever. But that is a little more...
I mean, it's better because at least you got someone in the crowd. I mean, you see so many stadiums that don't got nobody.
Well, it's just...
I know this.
I never think... when the Tennessee game comes up, it's dub.
It's like
even when we were winning 10, 11 games, I never go, dub. Because guess what? I'll never forget it. The thing I did forget is the year. But I believe it was 2013. South Carolina is playing at Tennessee. I was at Scarowinds, and it was right before we went to Scarowinds. I finished the game, so I'm thinking, okay, watch the game. If we win, I'm going to have a great night, go to Scarowinds. Guess what? We lost.
You had a sad night, Scarowinds.
You know how we lost? Fourth quarter, I believe we're up by 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. And Steve Spurrier decides, hey, got a couple timeouts. It's a fourth down situation. I'm just going to toy with him.
Should have done that.
Yep. Came back to bite us in the butt. Tennessee had a New York Giants helmet catch. We could not stop the clock. They ran the clock down. Game-winning field goal. Night was ruined. Still had fun at Scarowinds though. But that's what I'm saying. Even with the best of the best teams, it does not matter when it comes to the Tennessee game. Now, in the overall series, Tennessee we've been the bitch. I'll just straight up say it. Yeah. Hands down. I mean, Tennessee's a much better program overall. Yeah. They have 6 national championships. We have 0. Never even been. Went to the SEC game once.
Yeah, you were close.
Auburn beat this dog shit out of us. Just straight up. Wipe the floor. Thanks, Cam Newton. Thanks Steven Garcia, you drunk. Just kidding. Just kidding. Hey. We were just... we were terrible. Never lost to Clemson, no.
Yeah, he never lost to Clemson. Gotta give that.
But so this one for me, this is a hard game for me to want to predict. But that's the whole point of this video. Yes. So, all things being said, like I said, in Muschamp's tenure, I believe 7-1 against Tennessee, including Florida and here at South Carolina. Last year was his first loss. We're 6-4 in the 2010s in the previous 10 seasons, including our only. Actually, we've had two three-game win streaks. We won 3, lost 2, and whatever. But it's the 4-1 at home in that stretch is pretty impressive. And I believe I also have here. In those home games, those 5 home games when we were 4-1, we averaged 33.8 points a game, but we gave up 29.8. That's what I'm saying. The games are close, like they're very close. And in the entire decade of the 2010s, we have averaged 26.4 points per game, while Tennessee has averaged 25.2.
Damn, that's pretty close.
That's too close for comfort. And I know Tennessee fans feel, again, Tennessee is the far better program overall, far more history. But in the past 10 years, Tennessee fans can't say they've been the better school. I mean, they haven't won the East. Every year they've been projected to be first. They fail.
When it comes to with Tennessee right here, where I've been seeing for a couple of years, is that they don't live to the expectation they're supposed to.
No. The last time they were picked to win the East was Muschamp's first year with Josh Dobbs. They were picked to win the East. They came into South Carolina, and they stunk it. By stunk it, I mean they lost. They did play well, but I believe Dobbs had 2 interceptions. So you can't, in games like this, when you're looking at these numbers, you can't afford turnovers. You just can't. That's something I'm worried about on Saturday on both sides of the ball. I feel like Tennessee's probably just going to go run heavy. Probably not going to throw the ball all that much if they're not having success.
Who's their quarterback right now?
Guantanamo Bay. Jared it's just Guantanamo Bay to me now. Jared Guarantano, something like that.
Sorry if we watched your last name, man. Really sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll be able to say it all day tomorrow, but I won't be able to say it
when it matters. All right.
But yeah, this is extremely hard here to predict. But again, 3.5 point spread in favor of Tennessee. Am I going to go against the Gamecocks and pick Tennessee to win? Are you going to go with your heart, or are you going to go with your brain? That's the name. Or am I going to pick South Carolina to get what would be the biggest upset in the SEC this week, considering Tennessee's ranked 16th?
Yeah. And you guys aren't even ranked.
Let me just take a quick sip of my unofficial sponsor, Vanilla Coke here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be an ugly game. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go...
By a high-scoring, you mean like the defense are going to show up?
I'm going to talk about scoring points, as in we're not going to score a lot of points.
Okay, that sounds like that.
Let's go ahead.
We're on the board.
South Carolina will start 1-0. 17-14 victory at Williams Brice. Ugly, but a win's a win.
Yeah.
But I would like to see.
Get rich from last year and get to them.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I just want to see. I want to see. I don't care if it's a low scoring game. What I want to see is the offense stay on the field.
Yes.
I'd like to see us move the ball, even if we just get into the red zone and
go for field goals.
Get field goals. But I'd like to burn some clock. See our defense do what they do, which is they've been good.
Really good.
They've been good, and they've been in 30th to 60th range, somewhere in there, because the offense can't stay on the field long enough for the defense to look good statistic wise. But when they're on the field, there's results. Yeah, but if we can if we can convert third downs, get a few explosive plays here and there, stay on the field, kill some clock, because that's what Bobo's offense is going to do, because that's what Muschamp wants his offense to do. But can we be successful at that? That's what I want to see. If it's, like I said, if it's 17-10 or 13-6, I don't give a damn. As long as we looked like the better team. If it looks like they planned that, okay, that's great. Or it could have been Tennessee had a horrible game because they haven't gotten to scrimmage and have had a lot of guys miss some time. I want to see us look good. Otherwise, the rest of this season is just gonna be a shit show.
True. You're true on that. But all right, for me, there's actually a big question mark, just for everything you just said. But for me, Tennessee has been a little let down last year, especially.
Last year, no. Last year they ran off 6 straight.
Now
they did start off 0-2 against BYU and against Georgia State, which was rough, but they bounced back.
It's like, all right. So let's see. All right. So we got like a 50-50 situation right here. Let's see. If Tennessee wins, it's gonna be like 8. We're pretty much gonna be good this year, right? Or if they lose, they're gonna be like, well, we ain't got time to scream. We got people up and out. So it's a 50-50 chance. They're not gonna take the blame for a loss.
If anything, I don't want to hear anyone blame anything on opting out. Everyone has to do it.
Everybody lost a lot of players.
Yeah, it just sucks. It is what it is. That can't be. I don't want to hear any coaches using that as an excuse.
Because I mean, I think like there's a lot of people that may use this a couple of games. I can see that. That's a given. That's a given. Let's be real. A lot of people are gonna use that excuse. But okay, for me, let's see. If South Carolina is like as good as the way they sound right now, like saying like everything's going out for them, and they actually show up in the game, the offense shows up because the defense proves they can handle games. They can handle games. But for you guys, your only issue is your offense.
Yep.
Your offense is the things that let you guys down. I mean, even if you guys were just solid, that would be nice. Because let's be, you guys got kind of mediocre.
I wouldn't even say mediocre.
Below mediocre?
I would say garbage.
Okay, so Doug.
Hot, flaming garbage.
All right, so you know what? I'm not trying to be biased or anything. But I feel like this is gonna be an upset. I'm gonna go with South Carolina. Even we may be right, we may be wrong. We're not being biased.
I look. It's game 1.
If
this were week 3, week 4, and I've seen gameplay, I'd have trust me. Going forward, I'll have no problem picking against us. But it's week 1, under the lights at Williams Brice Stadium, against a team that most South Carolina fans just flat out hate. I'll be completely honest with you. So do I. I don't hate any Tennessee fans. I just hate Tennessee.
Again, with all the good signings and all that stuff.
So let's see it. South Carolina wins. South Carolina covers the spread. And like I said, I think it's going to be 17-13. I think it's going to be ugly, low scoring.
I would like to see them.
It's going to be up to the defense.
Both the teams actually show some offense. But
I wouldn't.
But
I don't want to see Tennessee show some offense.
I mean, I want
to see them score 9 points.
What was the highest you guys scored last year? I mean, excluding that garbage game.
The highest scoring performance we had last year.
Excluding that garbage thing.
Let's see. We only managed 21 against Vanderbilt, I think. 21 against Kentucky.
How much against
Georgia?
Let's do it. Because for I can actually.
I believe it was 20-17 at Georgia.
Let's see. I'm just gonna guess a real I'm gonna guess a score.
Last year, our highest scoring game outside of Charleston Southern. Let's see.
Man, this guy's watching the scores from last year. I think he's trying to skip some.
It's
rough.
It's tough sailing for a South Carolina fan. I'm gonna tell you that.
You gotta give props to the people that like watching their favorite college team. They always lose every year, so you gotta give those guys some props.
Let's see.
Remember right here?
That's embarrassing. Yeah, it was 24 against Kentucky.
Okay, 24, right? 24.
That's embarrassing.
This is gonna be an ugly game, because I'm like,
yeah, I think we averaged under 20 points per game last year.
Oh my God, you guys were horrible.
Yes,
crap.
that's what I'm saying.
For the SEC?
And that's what's ridiculous. It's like it's not like we have no talent at all on offense, but our running back room has been garbage. It just has. We had Marshawn Lloyd, who is one of the best running backs in the country coming in. He was going to be an immediate impact guy. quite possibly could have been freshman of the year, especially if he would have carried the load for our sorry team. But I mean, he is a all around. Well, I think about Eric Gilbert's probably going to be freshman of the year, but he would have been close. But that's the best thing we've had in our running back room in a very long time. But if Bobo's little offensive scheme, I say little, apparently there's a lot to it, but if his offensive scheme of adding that fullback along with the 2 tight end sets, sometimes 3 tight end sets, it sounds like he sets all that up so there's a lot of blocking to open a hole for the running game.
Yeah, because like I said,
and I will say, Kevin Harris, he had 100 yard. Actually, he had almost 150-yard game with 3 touchdowns. First game he ever played. Again, Charleston Southern, but still. Deshaun Fenwick had a 100-yard rushing game against Vanderbilt. Still Vanderbilt, but still. He rushed for 100 yards as a freshman. Both of these guys did that as a freshman. That's still good, even though it's garbage teams. And Harris did it on like 5 carries. I think it was 5 or 6 carries.
That's actually pretty good.
That was really good.
That's pretty good.
They're both big, stalkier backs. I believe Harris is 5'11". I think Fenwick's 6'1". They're both over 220 pounds.
Okay, so
they're fast. Zaquandre White, I believe he's 215, 6 foot. So they're big, bruising backs.
Okay.
So I think that, but that's what I'm saying. If our offense, if we can see them productively pick up third downs, move the ball, manage the clock, but they can score. Because I know Mike Bobo came out and said he wants to score 100% of the time in the red zone. And he'd like 75% of that to be touchdowns. That's laughable. I'm sorry. It just is. If it pans out, then
that's good. Because
then you're an undefeated team. But let's face it, I'd settle for 50. I'd settle for fucking 40. Considering we've probably been one of the worst we've been one of the worst offenses, period. But we've been one of the worst at third down conversions and red zone offense. Just plain and simple. So
let's be real.
Let's go out there. Let's see some results. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
I used to call you guys the Chargers of college.
Well, you have no room to talk. Your football team was butt cheeks.
Anyway,
all right, that's it. Hopefully.
But anyways, this is my final score. So
okay, go ahead and give your prediction.
I'm gonna go 24-21.
Damn. Last time we played at Willie B, that was the score, 24-21.
24-21.
I'll take that. That's a good game. But that's it. If you enjoy our content, we have a couple of previous videos out. Some of them are now irrelevant because the weeks are over. But consider subscribing for future content. We cover predictions for each week.
Small rants here and there.
Yeah. And I'll probably make an appearance during the halftime, depending on how it's going. Probably after the game, too, depending on how it's going. But consider giving subscribe, like the video.
Leave some comments on the
yeah, we'll try to. Hopefully, I can remember to start linking our Twitter in, so you can follow us on Twitter, because I'll definitely be live tweeting on Saturdays.
Yes.
But until next time, appreciate it and peace out, guys.
Right.
Go Gamecocks.